What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we are jumping in with the weekly reset for Destiny 2 on the 17th of June. So, as we head into the reset today, it's actually a week of final chances that includes for the Iron Banner, which is going to go away for an extended period of time as we head into Edge of Fate, as well as the Palindrome returning for the very final time as an Adept drop. And of course, that weapon hasn't actually been featured all that many times, given that it was new in episode Heresy, and Adept weapons are being replaced with the tiered weapon system. So, a couple of things on that front to bear in mind this week. Otherwise, we'll break down Eververse, vendor inventories for the reset, and, of course, in Rite of the Nine, we have all 3 dungeons active now. There are a couple of relevant boosts there, updates from Bungie, and a few other things to round up today. So, as always, guys, I hope you find the video helpful. If you do, you can help me out on the channel by hitting subscribe, as around half of the viewers on this channel haven't yet done that. It would mean a lot if you feel like clicking that button, but now let's get into it. First quick mention here, Rite of the Nine is still available, of course. Bungie have said that all 3 dungeons should now be open this week, so for any of them that you want to farm, that'll be an option. I believe the Emissary may still get a few of the weapon quests rolling out in the coming weeks too. Plus, Bungie have said that all 3 of the dungeons this week will have increased currency drops. Now, that's useful if you want to farm for specific weapons that you're focusing for. Also, Bungie have said that they'll be introducing a nunnery engram that has a bunch of older Eververse cosmetics in it, right at the end of the episode as well. So it might even be the case that with the increased currency drops, you just want to farm some of that and hold on to it until that engram becomes available. Choice is yours, but let us know down below if you'll be diving in. Another relevant shout this week, though, is that it's the final Iron Banner of the episode, and Bungie have indeed said that Iron Banner will go on a hiatus after this week, so that means it won't return until September, and that'll mean a 3-month hiatus, of course. So if you want to get your fill this week, now's the time to do it. That also applies to rewards. Whether it's Tenacious Mastery, anything introduced in the last couple of seasons, the new Scout Rifle, Nature Reclaimed. This week marks the final opportunity to get their current versions, and the same will actually apply to the Nightfall weapon this week, the Palindrome. Of course, Bungie are replacing Adept weapons with tiered weapons, so this could be the last opportunity ever to get the Palindrome Adept, and I think that's only been featured in the Nightfall, maybe 3 times, 4 times perhaps, during episode Heresy, so with it being available this week, it certainly is a good week to dive in if you want to get a good roll on it, as of course any good rolls of weapons like that are still going to be relevant even into the first couple of months of Edge of Fate potentially, so those are all the elements on that front worth bearing in mind. Now though, moving on to the pop-ups, we can see Rite of the Nine apparently gets new quests available this week. A quest is available for a holofoil version of the Terminus Horizon, so if you fancy that, go and visit the Emissary, of course. And otherwise, there is a Crucible boost still active, according to the director right here this week as well, which makes sense with Iron Banner being up, so take advantage of that alongside the final Iron Banner for a little while. And next, let's check into the Eververse store for the week. Don't forget to grab your free Bright Dust. How much do we get again? 700, which is certainly better than nothing, isn't it? Otherwise, for the moment, we'll focus on Bright Dust featured items in the store this week. So for the front page, we have the Bonsai legendary emote available. This one is 700 Bright Dust. If we can get the preview to ever actually turn up, there we go. We finally got it. Pretty cool one. If you're going to trim your bush in public, maybe not. Otherwise, we have the Ornithopter shell. I think I nearly said that correct, which is up for 2850 Bright Dust. Looks like some experimental balsa wood technology right there. I'm not sure it will fly, but nonetheless, you can grab that this week. And then there is the Orrery entrance for 450 Bright Dust. We'll preview that a second time. Kind of cool stuff. And for shaders, we have Amethyst Bloom on the front page. As always, this one comes up frequently. There's also Abyssian Gold, if that's how you say it correctly. Probably butchering the names, but nonetheless, that's on the front page as well. So we'll have a preview of that one for the same cost. Moving over to the main Bright Dust section though, we have the Dance Off exotic emote, which is available for 3,250 Bright Dust right there. Pretty cool. There's also the Coiffure Correction available this week in the store as well. And that one will be 700 Bright Dust. And then we have the Golf Tango Shell Exotic Ghost for 2,850 Bright Dust from back in Echoes right there. Little ghost drone, I guess. Also, there is the Diesel Maximal exotic ship available right here. Hadn't actually seen this one previously. A whole bunch of Heresy items available this week. That one is 2,000 Bright Dust. Then there is the Pinballer Exotic Sparrow, which is up for 2,500 Bright Dust as well, which is pretty interesting looking. For weapons though, or the weapon ornament, we have the ChainRIPPER ornament for Monte Carlo. I believe this is the first time it's sold for Bright Dust. I remember saying in the Eververse video a few months back now, don't buy it for silver if you want it for Bright Dust, as it is going to come up. So there we go. Pretty cool ornament for Monte Carlo, and that one's 1250 Bright Dust. There is also the Penguin projection for 1500 Bright Dust, and for the second page of shaders, we initially have Trinity available right here. Some of these previews are taking a while to load. I do apologize for that. I'm not sure if it's ever going to load. Let's try it again. The tower is perhaps causing us some issues. We'll try this one. A Radiant Charoite available as well. Look, we're not going to get previews without waiting for a long time. So, as always, they cost 300 Bright Dust. There is also Cursed Azure available, and the Princely Present from back in Season of the Wish as well. Don't know why I'm still trying to preview them, but finally, for Transman effects, we have the Vex Invasion effects, as well as the Reef Oracle and the Phosphine Stimulus, which are all available for 450 Bright Dust this week. So let us know down below if you plan to pick anything up from the store. I'll certainly be taking the ChainRIPPER at the very least this week, so share what you think in the comment section. Even if you're not playing Iron Banner this week, don't forget to say a quick farewell to Saladin, as of course he's going to be away for a little while. Someone just skipped across the screen then. Don't know if you noticed it. Absolutely flying. For Banshee's weapons, for the moment at least, we have Hollow Words with Slideways and Sympathetic Arsenal. There's also Nezarek's Whisper, which has Adaptive Munitions and Impulse Amplifier, as well as Extrovert, of course. And then there is Tarantula with Moving Target and Snapshot Sights. Mikado 45, which has Steady Hands and Adagio. Huzgao with Auto-Loading Holster and Quick Draw. And finally, Hollow Denial, which has Surplus and Unrelenting, but keep in mind, the weapons and rolls will change through the week. And our final visit is to Darth Shader 1, who will soon be the vendor for the Arms Week event, which will be nice. We do have the mixed set of Tangled Shore and Forsaken items available this week if you need to add any to collections, but for shaders, firstly, we have Dark Omolon available right here. These cost 10,000 Glimmer, of course. There's also the new Pacific Sync available this week. And finally, War Cult Rain if you're after a very OG faction shader. For some final loot mentions here though, the exotic mission this week is Presage. So if you want to pick up Dead Man's Tale or its upgrades, that's an option. Then for farmable endgame activities, we have the Vault of Glass and Crota's End as the featured raids. Of course, Vault gets the Vex Mythoclast, but the legendary loot pools across both of the dungeons are totally farmable and there'll be no loot lockouts, so keep that in mind. We also have the Pit of Heresy and Ghosts of the Deep as featured dungeons outside of Rite of the Nine, of course, so same thing applies to those if you want to farm anything. The last mention is for Lost Sectors, and today we have Chamber of Starlight featured. Then for the 18th of June, it will be Hydroponics Delta, Gilded Precept on the 19th, Thrillerdrome for the 20th, and Broken Deep on the 21st. So through to the weekend if you want to plan any of your Lost Sector farming, there you go. For the moment though guys, that's what we have to round up. So as always, I hope the video has been helpful. If it has, do us a massive favor and hit the subscribe button down below. I'll also keep you up to date with a bunch of Edge of Fate news. So keep it locked and loaded. A rating really does help us out too, and let us know if you're diving in for anything in the game this week. But for the moment, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.